This is the brand new Apple Watch Series 11, and I've been wearing and testing this watch ever since it was announced a couple of weeks ago. In my opinion, the Series 11 received the most modest updates of this year's lineup compared to the Apple Watch Ultra 3, which got satellite communication, or even the Apple Watch SE 3, which arguably got the most updates of any watch this year. And if you're interested in the Ultra 3 or SE 3, I have an entirely separate videos for these watches, go check them out. Because of the modest updates on the Series 11, this year's review is going to be like 5 minutes long, I think. Don't hold me to that. For fun though, let's set the clock. In just about every way, the Series 11 is the same as the Series 10. It has the same exterior design, the same super bright wide-angle AMOLED display, the same S10 processing chip under the hood, and it also runs the same watchOS 26 software like all of the new watches these days that come with things like the liquid glass design, as you can see here. But on top of that, you also get hypertension alerts and the new sleep score, which again is also present on the Series 10 as well. The new Series 11 does come in a couple of new colors though, one being space gray and the other one being slate titanium. But the good news is the price is also the same as the Series 10. It starts at $399 for the cheapest Wi-Fi only version. Another thing that hasn't changed is the GPS and heart rate accuracy of this watch. I've done some testing on it. It has the same GPS antenna and GPS chipset to my understanding, and it's got the same optical heart rate sensor on the back here. And during a couple of different runs I've done, I've analyzed the data, and again, it looks very similar to what I got from the Series 10, which is to say pretty good. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse here and talk about accuracy. You can watch my previous videos for that. It's all kind of the same here. Okay, so what's new on the new Series 11? Well, the first thing is the glass on the front of the display here. Apple claims this is a more scratch-resistant display. The ION-X glass they use now has a ceramic coating that supposedly makes it 2 times more scratch-resistant. I personally have not tried to scratch this myself. However, I did watch a video from Jerry Rig Everything where he scratches an iPhone Air, and I think that has a very similar coating to this. Still though, that added durability is nice peace of mind, especially for a display like this that sort of sticks off the front of the watch. Another update to the Series 11 is battery life. The previous model from the Series 10 claimed 18 hours of battery life. This new version here on the Series 11 gets 24 hours. Now, in my personal testing with the battery life on this watch, I haven't noticed a major difference compared to the previous Series 10. However, I have noticed a slight bump on most days where I'm using it very heavily, going for a run, taking phone calls on it, looking at it constantly. In those situations, I have noticed it lasts just a little bit longer. But another benefit to the Series 11 over the Series 10 is that it now has faster burst charging at lower battery percentages. It still has the same fast charging to 80% in 30 minutes as the Series 10, but when you have a lower percentage, like 1 or 2%, you can gain several hours by just charging this watch for a few minutes. So that's a good thing. Even though we don't get like weeks of battery life with these watches, at least they charge very fast. Another update to the Series 11 is 5G cellular connectivity. Now this will only affect you if you opt for the cellular version when you buy the watch. If you get Wi-Fi only, this doesn't matter. Now 5G connectivity can be over 10 times faster than the LTE connection used on the Series 10 here. Now does 5G really matter for a smartwatch? Well, not really, but in some cases it does. For example, for this to work, first of all, you can't have your phone on you, your phone can't have a connection, and you can't be near Wi-Fi as well. In that case, it will resort to the built-in cellular connection, and then you can use 5G. But in practical use, when you're actually doing stuff on your watch, you're probably not going to notice the 5G unless you're downloading apps or downloading podcasts. That second one is the most important. You see, podcasts can be particularly large file sizes, especially if they're like several hours long, and if you download it to the watch from Apple Podcasts, that can take a while. With 5G, it speeds it up substantially. And that's really it. Those are the big changes between Apple Watch Series 10 and Series 11. As you can see, there aren't many. The Apple Watch Series 11 is an awesome smartwatch with an insane amount of features for both daily life and your fitness goals. Since this year's Series 11 is so similar to the Series 10 of the past, it is kind of hard to get excited about it, but that shouldn't downplay just how good this watch is, because the Series 10 was also really good as well, and Apple just did an iterative update with the Series 11. So let's get down to brass tacks. Who should buy the Apple Watch Series 11? And let's paint out a couple of different scenarios. If you're upgrading from a Series 10, should you get the 11? No, probably not. You still get most of the new features by updating your Series 10 to watchOS 26 with hypertension alerts and the sleep score and things like that. So the only thing you're really missing out on is that 5G connectivity, a slight bump in battery life, and the added durability to the display. If those are important to you, by all means, upgrade, but I think most people would be fine with the Series 10. Now, if you're upgrading from a Series 9, the argument gets a little bit stronger. Again, you're gonna get a lot of new features with watchOS 26, but the form factor of the Series 9 is different than the Series 10 and 11. The Series 10 and 11 got a little bit thinner, it's got a bigger display, it's got that wide-angle OLED, so it's a little bit nicer to wear on the wrist. And then of course there's the 5G, the added battery life, and the added durability as well. What about upgrading from a previous year model before the Series 9 or even an SE model? In that case, I would say the Series 11 is a pretty significant upgrade. It's a much different watch than like the Apple Watch SE 1 or even like a Series 7 or something like that. You get a lot more features with the Series 10 or 11. And then finally, for the first-time buyer, someone who doesn't own an Apple Watch at all, absolutely yes. If you're buying for the first time, the Series 11 is a significant step up from the cheaper Apple Watch SE 3, and it offers thinner bezels or sleeker design, and you get most of the stuff you get on the Apple Watch Ultra 3 at a lower price point. It's also a lot thinner if you don't like wearing a big watch. If you're in the market for specifically an Apple Watch or a smartwatch in general, I'd say this is a good one to start with. With that said, there is an entire other category of people who are in the market for a watch like this and have $400 to spend, and for those people, they might want more fitness or sporty features. And for that, you do have a lot of competition out there from brands like Garmin, Coros, Suunto, or even Polar, who have really fitness-focused watches with great battery life, but a lot less of the smartwatch features you get with an Apple Watch. So do your research, watch a bunch of videos on my channel, and hopefully you found this video helpful. Okay, we made it to the end of this video. That was super quick. I was trying to squeeze it into 5 minutes. How did I do? It probably wasn't 5 minutes. In either case, I hope you found this video helpful or educational in some way, and if you did, please consider giving me the old thumbs up and subscribe to the channel down below so you don't miss more videos from me in the future, because there will be a lot more. And after you do that, also check out all of the links in the description down below. Those are affiliate links that help support my channel, but they cost nothing extra to you, so you might as well use them. And finally, when you're done shopping down there, also make sure to comment down below and let me know what you think of the new Apple Watch Series 11. Is this the right watch for you, or is it something else? Let me know down below. Love to hear from you, and I will see you in the next one. All right, friends, that's it. Was it 5 minutes? Probably not. Bye.